Is getting up and about the hardest step towards getting fitter? Well, from my personal experience on the journey that started about here, I was even bigger or less fit, but I'm not a big fan of having my picture taken. I can say that the hardest weight to move at the gym is that pesky front door. It might be sunny today, but it's still -2 out there. And I wanted to get into what I believe to be the actual hardest part about getting fitter. And all of those elements that play a part are all linked and affected by your emotional regulation. One thing that should be considered and is incredibly important is stress management. As a lot of people know the sympathetic nervous state as the fight or flight and the parasympathetic as rest and digest. But even simpler to give people an idea is that the sympathetic nervous state is an energy retention state that you hold on to energy stores in case of this fight or flight emergency. So in this perpetual state of anxiety and stress and being in a sympathetic nervous state for the majority of your day, you will have a lot less energy to expand in order for you to do everything that's required to be fitter. And yes, exercise is incredibly important. And I would say that no matter the age, no matter if you're a man or woman, unless you have an extremely physically demanding job, you should be doing anaerobic or strength training. It's great to retain or build muscle. That it is how you protect yourself and having a quality throughout the aging process and overall just feeling better mentally and physically. But when it comes to things like, fat loss, the exercise element plays a relatively small part in the energy consumption for the day. Most of your calories are being used by NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And that's the energy that your body requires to stay alive, to, function. And all of those little movements that you do throughout the day, they all add up. And making sure that you make the decisions to move more will play a way bigger role than the amount of calories you are burning throughout exercise. Something that should be a way bigger priority than it is for a lot of people nowadays is getting good quality and quantity of sleep, as that has one of the biggest impacts on our mood, energy, emotional regulation, muscle repair, cellular repair, the weight loss that a lot of people are striving for. A lot of it happens throughout the night. And obviously, we are what we eat. Everything about our bodies today is built out of things that we consumed in the past. So looking at the things you ingest as the building blocks of future you allows you to have a more honest and intimate relationship with the things you eat and not just eat for the sake of happy chemicals or to eat your feelings away. Or it's very common because the act of mastication itself triggers the brain a sense of safety. Because if you are truly in danger, what's the first thing that goes? It's your appetite. So if you are chewing and eating, you are indirectly telling your brain that you are safe enough to do so. And in the world of a lot of individuals being crippled by constant anxiety and fears, and eating is one of the often only moments throughout the day where they feel safe, they start using food not to fuel themselves and use food as a way to escape their reality. And that is where addressing the root cause of the issue and not making these emotional decisions on the things that you are consuming will play one of the biggest parts about getting fitter, because you won't be able to outwork a bad diet. Unless you start running 2 marathons a day, essentially the things that you consume will determine the way you look and feel. So, yeah, the start of the fitness journey is the hardest part, as is similar to moving a giant boulder, trying to push it. But if that boulder's been sitting there for a long time and roots have grown into it and there's a lot of little things holding it back, that initial push is extremely hard. But once you start moving the boulder, maybe starts rolling and you're gaining momentum, things do get easier. And ironically, getting fitter will drastically improve your emotional regulation, but not having the emotional regulation at the start when you need it the most is why so many people really struggle to get it started for long enough and stay consistent to gain this momentum. Something to think about. Protect your peace.